BTS. So this is kind of a run security webinar about fake BTS. So first of all, about me, I'm more than 10 years already in telecom security. So I'm co-author of GSMA FS 20 GPRS Standard and Protocol security document. Also, I'm head of telecom security research in SecurityGen and focused on telecom vulnerabilities, RAN, VoLTE, voice over Wi-Fi, GTP, diameter, 5G, standalone, non-standalone, and some other technologies. So, usually, what I'm doing in this company, so I'm conducting telecom security assessment for mobile operators for many years already, and I have team who is doing the same for operators. So, what will be the agenda for today? So, first question, why we discuss now? So, this is not something new, not something kind of modern, and so on. Then we will discuss what is fake BTS, what is IMSI catcher, what is the difference between each other. Also, we will discuss fake BTS in different generation, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. Option of running this fake BTS and the means to protect and detect by user equipment and by network equipment. So let's start. So first question, why we discussing it right now? And basically, reports of fake BTS station recently noticed in many countries over the world. Uh, I would not. By the way, fake BTS is something really not new. It's a well-known thing for since 2000, maybe 2010 or so, or even earlier. I mean, starting 2010, it was developing some open source tools which gives possibility to do it by anyone who can, I don't know, download open source and run it so by their hands. So this is becomes really accessible. Uh, but maybe due to kind of closed telecom industry, this information that fake BTS was used in the world was not too much published because many telecoms trying to avoid sharing such information. But times is changing, and currently we see quite big number of publication of such cases in many countries. So that's why we are talking about it right now. Also, due to widespread of AI, so knowledge is becomes really accessible. So you can just request any AI agent to create some kind of schemes, blocks, and explain how to do that, and it will give you all the information you need. Sometimes there are some filters that you cannot do something, but you may avoid it using some kind of I want to be lab environment and so on, and it will explain you what to do, how to do, and how it's working. So knowledge is really accessible right now, and not only knowledge, but hardware also is available. So there are some websites in the internet when you can search for IMSI catchers, for fake BTS, for some different things for 2G, 3G, 4G, as you can see. So it's really available. There are a lot of, not a lot, but there are some publication and news about such cases when when this fake BTS was found in some, I don't know, in some flats where some malefactors are running this fake BTS and do some things. So which things can be done by fake BTS, I will explain a bit later. Here you can see just about this fake BTS and maybe SMS blasters, because this is really kind of clear option to use that. So just run fake BTS to send some big number of SMS with probably advertisement or some scam SMS messages with links where you go and will be downloading mm, some virus or so. So this is one of the way how to use this fake BTS. Okay, let's go straight. And first question: what is fake BTS and what is IMSI catcher and what is difference between each other? Uh, so basically, it's the same thing with different names in wide terms. So in wide terms, you can see IMSI catcher term more in mass media, spy stories, etc. While fake BTS is more technical name and most probably it means device by itself. So fake BTS it's device which is kind of base station, mobile base station, which is fake because it's not belongs to real operator who can deploy this base station. And indicator is just the one of the possible function of this fake BTS. So depends on configuration, depends on scripts running on this fake BTS. You can implement IMSI cacher. This is just some function and give some profit of collecting IMSIs. So instead of IMSI catchers, there are several other ways how to use fake BTS, which we will discuss later. But in general, let's use fake BTS term as it is wider in this in this webinar. Yeah. So let's try to understand how it works. So this is normal connection where you can see some numbers of cells, and so you located in some place, so you connected to some base station and everything normal. So you have normal connection. You can use internet, make calls, and so on. So how fake BTS works? So attacker somewhere near to you, not kind of 10 meters from you, but in some distance which allows to this coverage. So maybe depends on generation. For example, for 2G network, it may be several kilometers. For LTE, it's bit less, for example, 500 meters or so. It can be more or less, depends on power, depends on buildings and so on. But anyway, let's go through that. So this attacker deploy fake BTS. Then what he need also, he need to increase priority. So in GSM stack, for example, there are some fields which called celery select offset, which means actually priority. Depends on this priority. There are some kind of different formulas to estimate based on this priority and based on signal strength. So mobile phone decides to which base station to connect because operators may need to balance some load, for example, in some places like near underground where people go outside and everyone connected to the nearest one. So that's why some priority configuration needed to offload to other nodes, which is a bit more far from this place. So that's why this priorities is used by the network. But for mail factor, he just increase priority to the highest number, and then user equipment, basically mobile phone, decides to switch to another base station, which is actually fake BTS. So it's not real base station. And so there is no verification from phone about network side, because phone doesn't know if it is real base station or not real base station. There is no way to check it in 2G, for example. So because in 2G only network authenticate user phone, so not phone authenticate user equipment. And as we deploy fake BTS, we will skip this story with authentication of subscriber. By the way, in 2G, there are encryption of data and signaling on the radio, and termination point of encryption, base station itself, or SGSN. This is some device in core infrastructure. And encryption options are A50, A51, A52, A53, and A54, where A50 is without encryption. A51, it's kind of weak encryption which can be broken. A52 actually even prohibited to use because it's even weaker than A51. And the modern phones are not supporting it intentionally because this is really a bad encryption algorithm. And the A53 and the A54 is good one, so we don't have anything better in 2G. By the way, we saw some kind of I got before some request like in some countries there are no 2G coverage at all, and the operators think that if they don't have 2G, that means they don't have such vulnerabilities, so it's okay for them. So fake BTS is not affecting them. But even if you don't have a 2G network, it doesn't mean that your phone do not support it. So if you open configuration of phone, so in most of cases you can see that, for example, if you switch 4G, but it will be all generation there, 3G, 4G, 2G, and maybe 5G. So user equipment still supported, and fake BTS attacks are targeting user equipment, not the network. That's why it's not kind of, so even if you don't have 2G coverage in your country or your network doesn't have such coverage, it doesn't mean that you are not affected by these problems because your phone supports it. And even if you don't see it in the menu, for example, you can see in modern phones, you can see preferred network type. So you will see only 5G recommended, for example, and you don't see even 2G here. So you can choose 5G, LTE, which is 4G, 3G, but it doesn't switch the only generation. So if you press 5G, it doesn't mean that you will use only 5G. It means that it will use everything from 2G to 5G. If you switch LTE, so you use everything from 2G to LTE, and the same with 3G. So if you choose 3G, your phone will use 2G and 3G. So that's why almost everyone is vulnerable to that. Doesn't matter in which country, with which coverage you are. Okay, so let's go forward. So the principle of this fake BTS attack, so that user equipment, your phone, connects to fake BTS, and it cannot verify the network if it is real or not. So, and then attacker may do several things. Depends on configuration. He may connect you to the internet, for example. So you will still use your data, so it's okay. And even he can connect it to some SIP provider and with a number substitution, so which called usually CLI spoofing. So in this case, malefactor is able to connect you to the network, and even you will be able to do some outgoing calls, but you will not be able to receive incoming calls which is targeting to you. So if someone calls to you, he will not reach you because This call will go to the real network, but for real network, you are just out of coverage because real network will not see you as subscriber connected to this real network. So we call it MITM in stealth mode. So there will be limited possibilities for attacker. Well, I will go to the next slide where there will be an explanation what is going on. So results of this fake BTS in stealth MITM mode will be like subscriber will not see any noticeable effect. So he will not be able to receive incoming call. And he will not know anything about connection that he connected to the not real base station. For mobile operator, there will be also no noticeable effect because subscriber will look like disconnected out of coverage or airplane mode or I don't know somewhere in the underground or in some other places where there is no good connection. So for real network, subscribers just disappear from the network without any notification where and how. And the successful attacks with fake BTS in this case allows to attacker what allows interception of originating activities, for example, voice call, SMS, USSD, any data you're trying to search in the network. All these possible to see by malefactor. For sure, currently nowadays, if you surf the internet, usually there are encryption like TLS or HTTPS. So attacker will not be able to see this encrypted information, but still DNS requests and so on. These many things are going in clear text and it will be available. Also, attacker may do denial of service, so he may just block you any of service, so you will be connected to the network, but you cannot do anything, so it's also possible. And one more thing is pretending or social engineering, or so malefactor will be able to call you on behalf of anyone, for example, bank, parents, and so on. And this is kind of very, very powerful tool for social engineering. So they may pretend by anyone and taking into account current technologies with AI when even voice can be substituted and so on. So it's very becomes very easy for attackers to do some social engineering using such technique. Okay, let's go to another options of usage of fake BTS. For example, there may be MATM in full mode with full possibilities for attacker. So in this case, this fake BTS will act as proxy. Real subscriber will be connected to the fake base station, and fake base station will be connected as user to real base station. In this case, this is kind of full MITM, but there are some limitations. So in this case, A50 should be allowed and should be used. So this connection should be established without encryption. Or attacker, if he have access to signal networks like SS7, diameter, or even GTP, so he can request future keys for the subscriber using signaling protocols. So, for example, there are authentication requests in SS7, so where you can request several keys for future use, and then you can establish a secure connection with the subscriber after obtaining this vector. So this could be possible. So results of this fake BTS in full MITM mode. So for subscriber, again, no noticeable effect. For MNO, it can be noticed because in case of usage of A50, this is kind of suspicious activity that subscriber connects without encryption. So if there are some monitoring on radio side, so it's possible to identify such activities. And other way, when a malefactor using connection to signaling networks like SSL network. So if they have signaling firewalls like SSL firewall, diameter firewall, GTP firewall, so there should be some category 3 filtering like fast relocation signature, which may trigger from these requests. So successful attacks with fake BTS allows attacker to intercept all activities, not only originating activities, but even terminating activities. So incoming calls, incoming SMS, for example, OTP, and so on. Attacker may see it because at least as SMS, USSD, it will be available for him in clear text. Again, denial of service if you just block all all services to you. So and MITM, so listening, spoofing, modification, deletion, so he can do whatever he wants. Next option is DOS mode or SMS blaster mode. It be different, but combine it together because this is more kind of the really similar. So the idea is that when a subscriber connected to this fake BTS, so in DOS mode, so attacker will not give you anything. So your phone will be connected to this fake network, but so your phone will show kind of the network is available and so on, but he will not give you uh, any service. So and your phone will not be able to switch to real network because priority is really high. So that's why it's not possible to avoid this. Or another similar option is SMS Blaster. So you connect to this fake BTS, they immediately send you some SMS, some advert or scam SMS and so on, and nothing else. And then they may even disconnect you. So this is also popular way to use this fake BTS. So what will be the results of such usage? So subscriber can't call, can't do anything, but signal is present, and he cannot switch to some normal network. For operator, there will be no noticeable effect. Again, subscriber will look like disconnected. And a successful attack from fake BTS allows attacker to push some SMS or calls, or do some denial service, or send you some adverts. Now let's speak about fake BTS in LTE. Well, I will not say a lot about 3G because 3G in terms of fake BTS and IMSI cacher, it's really similar to LTE because difference between 2G and other generation which was deployed later, that in 3G, LTE and 5G, authentication is changed and becomes mutual authentication. So subscribers, so not only the network verify and authenticate subscriber, but subscriber, or if we go deeply, so basically SIM card will authenticate the network. So now in 3G, 4G, 5G, it is not possible to do this full connection to to the network without this validation. But still, some possibilities are possible because before authentication, which may be kind of it appears on some stage of the connection. So before this stage, still some information may be shared. But anyway, even in LTE or 3G with this mutual authentication, there are ways how to do uh, fake BTS attack even in LTE. So kind of there are some at least two ways. So for example, deploy fake LTE base station. So subscriber will try to connect to this fake LTE base station, and phone will send this tracking area update request to fake LTE station, and this fake LTE station will send tracking area update reject, but with some additional information, with some specific codes, and adding information like redirection into 2G channel. So there will be some specific dedicated channel where subscriber should go, and he will have another 2G base station where subscriber will connect, and so that's why this kind of smart way to switch subscribers to 2G network, fake 2G network, even from LTE. Or there are more stupid way is just using jammers. So attacker may just use jammer and jam 4G band, and that's why phone will try to connect to older generation to 3G, but malefactor also may jam this 3G, and then subscriber will go to 2G and connect to fake BTS in 2G. So and some connection specifics that I already told a bit about that. So normally when subscriber connected to 2G network, phone can switch to another neighbor's cell because it validate nearest base station and choose it by priority and signal strength. But list of neighbors provided by base station to which you connected, and so subscriber goes into the trap because when he connected to this fake BTS will not show any neighbor cell, so it will be in a trap because he don't see any neighbors and do not know anything about that, so that's why he cannot do anything with that. And finally, let's look on fake BTS in IMSI catcher mode. So IMSI catcher, maybe this is the most buzzy word from usage of this fake BTS story. So again, normal connection, malefactor appears, deploy fake BTS, and then subscriber trying to connect to this fake BTS, sending chicken area update request to this base station saying something like, I don't know who you are, please tell me your IMSI, and this is done by identity request message. So then phone will send IMSI, and what additionally can be requested. Additionally, IMI also can be requested from fake BTS. So attacker requests IMI, phone sends IMI to attacker, and finally, attacker will send the tracking area update reject. So you will be immediately disconnected. As a result, attacker will have IMSI and IMEI, and even maybe list of such, because, for example, if this fake BTS deployed in some crowded place, for example, in supermarket or some other place, so there will be dozens of subscribers who connect every minute to this fake BTS, so malefactor will got a list of IMSI and IMI of everyone who was near this place. And this procedure happened really fast. It may be 1 second or so. So after 1 second of communication with fake BTS, your phone disclosed all the information to malefactor, and then he dropped connection with you, and you connected to the real network. So most probably you as subscriber will not notice anything, because even if you're using something except maybe call, so call probably will be interrupted, but during call you will not be switched to fake BTS. So that's why uh, well, it is not possible to notice that something happened during this second from subscriber side, but attacker collect all these identities. So the result of this fake BTS in IMSI catcher for subscriber, it's almost not noticeable because there will be a very short connection loss. Um, for operator, there probably will be additional tower request anomaly if we correlate it with some location, so that can be detected somehow. And for mail factor for attacker, successful attacks with with IMSI catcher allows to collect IMSI and IMEI of neighbor subscriber. Uh, I also will say that MSISDN, so your phone number, will not be collected by this technique because phone number is identity which is assigned to your IMSI in real network. So this is so it is not stored. Well, it may be stored in SIM card, MSISDN, so your phone number, but it is not mandatory. So in many cases, it's not stored. So generally speaking, phone and SIM card they do not know their phone number. So MSISDN is not known for SIM card or phone because this assignment is happening in a real network. So if attacker wants to get this information about MSISDN, so he need to well, to use, for example, signaling protocol vulnerabilities like SSL and so on to resolve IMSI to MSISDN, for example, in SS7 network. Let's discuss a bit benefits of 5G. So is it solved in 5G or not? So by default, it is the same as 4G. So there is no possibility to do full modes of fake BTS attack like full MITM in 4G and 3G and in 5G. But IMSI catcher is working in all these generation in 3G, in 4G, in 5G as well by default. But 5G have optional configuration is to encrypt IMSI. So actually in 5G, IMSI as identity replaced by SUPI, but SUPI is the same numbers like IMSI. And there is additional identity which called SUSI, which so SUPI becomes SUSI when IMSI and SUPI it's 15 digits number. Five first five is identity of country and the network, but last 10 digits is kind of identity of this particular subscriber. And in SUSI, the idea is to encrypt these 10 digits of subscriber identity. So country code and the network code will remain plain text, but 10 digits of identity will becomes encrypted. The problem is that we tested multiple networks, which is 5G networks, and in all of them, this SUSI encryption was not activated. So for activation of this SUSI, it is required to do some SIM card updates. So phone should support it. So several conditions, I would say, needed to be meet, and that's why by default currently we see that it is not activated. So currently 5G does not give any benefit regarding fake BTS, and this IMSI catcher, for example, attack still possible in most of 5G networks. In case if this SUSI encrypted, and so this optional configuration in use, so even IMSI catcher attack will not be possible. So optionally, 5G network can solve all this fake BTS stuff if it is configured in secure way. But again, as I told, by default, it's not configured, and as it is optional feature. Let's try to discuss how to try to detect or protect yourself by your phone if you're just using phone and so you are not operator and so on. So there are some application to detect this activity. For example, Snoop Snitch from SR Labs, and he can find this indicators, but there are some limitation of not only this program but most of such programs. Also, recently published some other project which called Ray Hunter, which can be installed on some Wi-Fi modem. So this is kind of box where you put SIM card and internet can be shared by Wi-Fi. So there are some specific devices where you can install it and it can monitor it. But the idea of all such solutions are quite similar. So they they requires Qualcomm chip. They require root on this device. It drains battery if you're talking about phone, and they analyze, and so they're getting access to a low level packet data, so they see all this radio data, and the metrics which they analyzed, it's kind of usage of A50. So if no encryption activated, if no pagings on this connection. So well, some technical stuff which usually differs in fake BTS comparing to real network. But I can say that this all focused mainly on default configuration of fake BTS. If attacker really want to avoid this detection, so he can fine tune his fake BTS in such ways that most of such metrics will looks like real network. It may be it may require some additional effort from attacker, but it's still possible. Though there are now no silver bullet to detect it. And the biggest problem we found of such way to detect by user equipment is that usually notification comes after you already did call. For example, so you're just go in somewhere, so someone calls to you, you answer this call, talk, or for example, with male factor who is doing social engineering to you. Then you hang up this call, and after that, this application may show you, oh, it was IMSI catcher, so you was connected to IMSI catcher. But generally speaking, we already shared all the information, and we already hacked it in this case. So that's why not really helpful, I would say, way to detect it. And again, I just want to highlight that this attack actually on user equipment, on subscriber phone, and that's why if you're talking about ways to detect or protect by network side, this becomes tricky because attack is going not to your network, but attack is going to your subscribers. So they just disconnect subscriber from real network and attack subscriber alone without knowledge of mobile network. So in main modes, these fake BTS attacks are stealth for network. IMSI catcher or SMS blaster mode can be detected by the network analyzing some metrics. For example, it should increase location update rate on some specific area, or authentication error rate can be also increased after that, because when a subscriber connected to fake BTS, it gets new identity, temporal identity TMZ. And then if he connects to real network with this temporal identity, it will be not known, or it will not be those who really connected under this identity. So that's why some authentication errors may happen. So if operator wants to, not wants, but can somehow correlate these anomalies in update application update request, authentication error rate, so they may kind of find this correlation. And if you're talking in about MITM mode, so if there will be A50 connection request, so this actually already suspicious because most of phones should not be used. So currently A50, so no encryption, should be used for emergency call, for example, when you don't have SIM card, when you have blocked phone or whatever else. So for emergency calls, this A50 should be used. And that's why it could not be disabled from network side. So it's still, so there are still some cases where these non-encrypted channels should be established. But if usual subscriber trying to establish this A50 connection, this is really suspicious. And if so, there should be also proper protection on signaling protocols, SSM diameter. In that case, some issues may be mitigated by fast relocation signature if attacker trying to do this full MITM mode using these signaling networks. So, and conclusion, so due to lack of mutual authentication, 2G network is fully vulnerable for fake BTS attacks, allowing malefactor a lot of different possibilities. Actually, malefactor can do whatever he wants, so he can send you whatever he wants, he can intercept whatever he wants, and all possibilities are there for 2G. For 3G and 4G network, they allows fake BTS in IMSI catcher mode. So fake BTS may collect your IMSI and IMEI. And if attacker wants more, they still allow to downgrade you into 2G and do more as it was before. 5G network not vulnerable to IMSI catcher only in case of encrypted source. By default, it is not activated. So, and this is the same as 4G network. Detection possibilities are quite limited. So from subscriber side, so you need to have root, you need to have Qualcomm device, you need to have some specific application which drains battery and which may show that you was connected to IMSI catcher already late. So that's why it's kind of protection not good, I would say. And mitigation in general almost impossible until we have phones which supports 2G network. So till now, all the phones are supports 2G network, and due to this kind of architectural issue in 2G network, 2G network, I don't know, it was developed maybe in 19th, so it's more than 30 years already. So problem of 30 years old problem in architecture still affects us currently in 2026, but we have what we have. That's probably it for today. Now I will try to answer questions. Really, can you help me with that? Ah,
Okay,
second.
so we have one question from the LinkedIn broadcast. So, does the TAU procedure require SMC at NAS level first?
Uh, I'm not really understand. Can you repeat it?
So, does the TAU procedure require SMC at NAS level first?
Uh, does tau request SMC? Uh, I don't think so. So tau request is initial message from phone, so it doesn't require anything. So subscribers send to the network information Just I want to connect to the network and who I am. So it sends some identity which is temporal or not temporal, and yeah, doesn't require anything.
Okay. And the next question is, based on real measurements and incident data, how widespread is IMSI exposure and fake base station activity today? Are these rare edge cases or a regularly observed issue in live networks?
Uh, this is good question, if it is regular or not, because the problem is that it's really hard to detect such activities. As I already mentioned, that from network sides, it's as attack are happening not to the network but to the subscriber, and this particular time when attack is happening, network do not see subscriber, so it's really hard to detect this activity. I would say not many operators in the world even started to do something in this terms. So, uh, but recently, as it was shown on first one of the initial slides here, so we see that the information about that becomes more and more public. So you can see on the maps how many cases was happening in different countries recently. So it's happening. We see some numbers here, but I'm quite sure that it happening much more, because here we can see only published cases which was detected where attacker was in most of cases they were catched by police and so on, but much more cases were not even detected. I would even not say about police which may catch this attacker or not.
Okay. So, how significant is 2G usage today across different regions? Is it still a meaningful part of live networks or mostly legacy?
In most of networks, it's mostly legacy, but for attacker, if they have this possibility to use old generation to do attacks, they will do this, because to have hack LTE is quite hard. Any other questions from LinkedIn?
Yes. So, in LTE, what are the most realistic techniques attackers use to influence cell selection or trigger identity exposure?
Uh, if you're talking about fake BTS, so IMSI catcher is still possible in LTE, so IMSI gathering is still possible. So yeah, and this is quite simple attack, not required from attacker too much knowledge or too much equipment or too expensive equipment.
Okay, next question from the LinkedIn broadcast. If technical protections exist, why do we still often see law enforcement involvement needed to stop rogue base stations or interception setups? Where do purely technical controls fall short?
Uh, that is what many operators want to get, like some device or some solution which gives possibility to do that. But the problem is that, as I already told, that attack is happening not in your network, not in mobile network. It's happening with some specific subscriber, and network do not see anything about that. So there are some kind of side effects which operator may monitor, and so that should be kind of procedure, because to detect even if you detect location of such anomaly, it is not straightforward what to do after that. So location will be not really precise, so you will not see GPS coordinates. So you will see some place around several kilometers, so depends on power of this fake BTS. Then you need some kind of some policemen who, or some specific department who will go on site and try to detect where this fake BTS is running, and then someone should catch them. So I don't see the way how operator can do all this stuff by themselves, because they cannot prevent it. It just happening without their agreement or without their control. So the only way to stop it is kind of to find this fake BTS and uh, to this kind of to catch people and this fake BTS and so on. So that's why this is really hard to solve still.
Okay, so the next question is, will moving fully to 5G eliminate the fake base station problem, or does the attack surface simply change rather than disappear?
Again, attack. I mean, if there will be 5G with this encrypted sources, so it will not allow to attacker to implement even IMSI catcher. But there's will still options to downgrade subscriber to 4G, to 3G, to 2G, even if 2G is decommissioned from the country. So because phones are still supporting that, until phones will not remove support of 2G network, this vulnerability will work.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. We will
Okay,
upload the recording on YouTube so you can revisit. Thank you,
okay,
Pavel.
okay. Thank you all. Thank you for attendance. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.